hamba uyovota uvotele le-ANC hayi ANC sorry.
Hello there guys and welcome to Daily Updates. 2024 is the election season and many politicians who are opposing the ANC believe that this is the year that they are finally dethroning the ANC from that powerful chair that they've been occupying. While we're looking at that, the President of South Africa has not yet told us when we are going to be voting. We know of a date that was told by Rob, the billionaire from Western Cape, who said to us that on the 22nd of May, we are going to be voting. Is Ramaphosa going to be following on that route of Rob, or is he going to announce a different date? We remain to see that. But ANC is shaking because of one man. Since the day Jacob Zuma decided to say that I'm shifting my vote from ANC to Umkhonto weSizwe, we have seen a lot of talks, a lot of nonsense that has been talked on the media. A lot of people, the ANC leaders have been going there exposing the ANC. Example, the Secretary General of ANC, Fikile Mbalula, goes on there to say that, well, we have actually protected Jacob Zuma. There was a point where when we went to Parliament to actually protect him from that Nkandla saga. He actually goes on to say that that pool, that swimming pool that cost a lot, we actually had to lie and said that it was a fire pool that is going to assist in terms of fire.
In defense of our president, we went to Parliament and opened an ad hoc committee and said a swimming pool is a fire pool. Yabona swimming pool leyo data sayichinja sathi fire pool. Uminister of police ebile qhophe engaselanga tywala ubona ukuthi lento bubxoki kunzima uexplain ubxoki kaloku. People have lost their careers because of that thing. Yaye constitutional court yathi sivota in two weeks time wabuya umkhweng get judgment enjani wabetha upresident wethu wathi he's not fit for office samnyamezela and lonto ayichuwanga ndim ukuthi he's not fit for office yayibhalwe phansi court judgment ilachomi yakhe umkhweng ndiyambona ichomi ngoku bajayiva bobabini andimbazi but umkhweng wakhupha ijudgment wabasa umsholozi samnyamezela.
How does the Secretary General of a big party like ANC goes on stage to say such things? If they are not scared, then tell me what. Because it seems like since the day Jacob Zuma decided to announce what he did, everybody in the ANC has been worried. Are they going to defeat him by going to court and challenge that name called Umkhonto weSizwe, which is registered with the IEC, or are they not going to do it? Because at the moment, even if they don't do it, they're still going to meet problems. If they go and do it and they win, it is still a lot of problem because the people that Zuma has gathered to vote for Umkhonto, he can take those people together with Ace Makashule and say that we are shifting the vote to another party, which brings distraction to the ANC. Look at it this way. The President of South Africa, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, goes on the 112 years of the ANC to say that the ANC has done a lot of good and speaks about the grant. Of all the things he can mention, he's speaking about grant.
Belanga, in 1999, only 2.5 million people had access to social relief. In other words, they got some social assistance from the government. Today, more than 18 million South Africans in our country receive social relief from the government. The SRD grant introduced during COVID, the 350, has increased the number by another 8 to 10 million.
And there's a talk of students being threatened if the ANC loses, NSFAS is not going to fund the student. That is the ANC, which is really seeing that they might lose this election, but they are in denial. And this is caused by Jacob Zuma. Parties have been threatening ANC. They've been threatening ANC to lose power. But the day that Jacob Zuma has decided that I'm not voting for you, ANC, it is the day that the ANC finally realized that there is the possibility of losing. I've said it before that the KZN vote is a big vote. And if the ANC is not careful of the power that is Jacob Zuma, they might regret it. So when we look at Zuma and the presidency, we do know that for sure Jacob Zuma is not going to be the president of South Africa, even if, let's say, a miracle happens, Umkhonto weSizwe becomes that party that wins election. Jacob Zuma will not be the president of South Africa because the constitution says that no person may hold office as president for more than 2 terms. But when a person is elected to fill a vacancy in the office of president, the period between that election and the next election of a president is not regarded as a term. But what we can highlight on this is that no person can hold presidency for more than 2 terms. Jacob Zuma has served 2 terms. He can no longer be the president of South Africa, but he can cause a big upset to the ANC by making sure that Ramaphosa is not the president of South Africa. ANC people know that. ANC people, even if they act brave, you can see through them. How does the Secretary General of such a big party goes on public platform and say the things that he says? It's like someone who need to be taught about public speaking, because as of now, he's really damaging the ANC. To get someone like Gwede Mantashe, the former Secretary General of the ANC, to actually go there and say that he was wrong to go there and expose us, the ANC, about that Nkandla saga. Jacob Zuma is sitting there laughing, getting more support, getting more media, while they are speaking about the fact that we protected him, and the confidence of the public is getting down on the ANC. They are no longer supporting the ANC because someone is sitting there wondering, how does a Secretary General speaks like that? It means the ANC has a lot of hidden skeletons that they're not telling us. If they can actually sit there and tell us about Nkandla, what other things they're not telling us? And if they are not putting him down, that Fikile Mbalula, the leader of the Secretary General of the ANC, if they're not putting him down and telling him to tone down on what he's doing, it is going to damage the ANC even more further. Because every time he goes and speaks, he finds a new thing to say. Next thing we might be hearing about Zondo Commission and the Guptas, because Fikile is looking to embarrass Zuma. Zuma is looking to destroy the ANC, and it looks like it is going as smooth as he wanted. I mean, the opposition parties are enjoying that competition that they are seeing between the former and the current. Because this is not Umkhonto weSizwe and versus the ANC. It is Jacob Zuma versus Cyril Ramaphosa. Ramaphosa is using the SG to go and attack Zuma. Zuma is going at the buffalo head on, making sure that he's embarrassing and making sure that Ramaphosa will not see the second term that he's seeking. Remember, Jacob Zuma, when he was taken off office, he said that you are not seeing me for the last time. I'm going to return. Now, as you can see, he's not going to allow Ramaphosa to be the president for the second term. He's looking to seek revenge on what Ramaphosa has done to him. Is it going to work? It looks likely that it might happen. Because as of now, you get all the political parties that are opposing the ANC, you get the ANC, and you look at what is currently happening. On the media of current, it is the ANC, the EFF, Umkhonto weSizwe. We are not hearing of other political parties. It is just 3 political parties that we are hearing of. Of course, the Umkhonto weSizwe has not elected their leaders yet, but look, they have not elected anything. But Zuma is the main man that they are talking about. He's not going to be the president, but he is the face. And that face might actually cause the biggest upset to the ANC. What they need to do is go back to the office and draw again and find a plan on how to win the election, but it might be too late. Because the EFF is sitting on the other side, enjoying what they are seeing and encouraging their voters to continue voting for them, as now the Umkhonto weSizwe is also saying no ANC, yes to Umkhonto weSizwe. It might be the destruction of the ANC. If somebody is not doing anything about it, we might finally say goodbye to the ANC. We wait to see that date that Rob has mentioned, whether it's going to collide with the one that Ramaphosa has said, and we look to see if people will gain that momentum for the ANC, or is it over for that throne that they've sat there for many years? Is it finally about time when they said that Jesus has arrived? As Zuma said before, that ANC will lose when Jesus comes. Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning into the channel, and until next time, cheers.